Does enjoying the rich experience of uninterrupted cash flow for life seem like an elusive dream? Then you will want to talk to local wealth advisor Richard Hansine.
Wake up to the new rules of business, featuring entrepreneurs and the professionals that serve them. If you're a business owner, these 5-minute daily episodes are just for you. Welcome back to Wake Up to the New Rules of Business. I'm your host, Debbie Donaldson, and here with my good friend Richard Hansine with Strategic Wealth Advisors. Richard, thank you so much for being on the show this week. What a funny episode yesterday. I really had not heard those stories before. And so tell me, what do you think of the future of the wealth advising business or industry? Where's it going?
I'm not sure I know where it's going, but I will tell you what I think should happen, and then we'll see what happens. And it's kind of lengthy. With all the banking rules, and this combination of the investment banking, commercial banking industries, you have all kinds of issues with financial structure and compatibility and the fact that they're solvent. So we're spending a considerable sum of money chasing after this idea of testing to make sure they'll survive. Well, if we broke them up, which I think we should, now our risk of failure gets smaller and smaller and spread out the way it used to be. So I'm all for the return of Glass-Steagall, the act that separated the investment banking from commercial banking. Now let me give you some examples why. The most current is Wells Fargo. And Wells Fargo has been in the news for 3 to 5 years, and it's not good. And now they talk about they've been rebuilt or reintroduced. Well, let's go back to what happens. You got that kind of money available to somebody or a staff, and they see that they can access that money, and they begin to do things that are really strange. For instance, we know for a fact they opened all of these bank accounts or accounts that shouldn't have been opened, that weren't approved by the client.
Right.
How did that happen? Well, if you're a CPA like me, you know there's internal controls, you have your outside auditors, and you have your regulators. You don't just put together your procedure manuals in such a manner that that stuff can be discovered. The point is they had to hide it. So this isn't something that happened by some group at a lower level. It went from the very top to the bottom. And it keeps being covered and uncovered and uncovered. Most recently, there are a bunch of mortgages that they foreclosed on that they were improperly foreclosed on and shouldn't have been. So here's people who were thrown out of their home for inappropriate reasons. So I think that there's an issue with the concentration of wealth. I think it should be broken apart. I think the risk and the return of those two industries should be separated. Banks should be banks, investment houses should be investment houses. I want people to know this is safe, this is risky. I do not like it being mixed together. So that's my opinion. It's not liked by many, but I think that would be the best bet.
Well, I applaud you for taking a stand on that. And I am one of the people who had a credit account opened under my name and under Wells Fargo, and nothing ever happened with it. It was, it was just really confusing. It was like, how did I have this account and I have this account? What's this account about? And right. So, I had one of those, but it didn't cause any grief in my world, just questions.
Right.
But it was inappropriate. The companies that you expect the companies that are managing your money to have the highest levels of integrity.
Exactly.
And I like what you've said about separating and not confusing. This entity deals in security, deals in non or low risk. And this entity, although your money can make more money in investments, there's risk because it could lose money too.
You cannot have return without risk.
Right.
It's not, anybody who tells you they've mitigated risk and they have it all removed is not telling quite the truth.
Yeah. Yep, you are absolutely right about that. And so, and I actually am one of those people who has a pretty high level of appetite for risk in investments. I have throughout. As I get older, I get a little less, a little more risk averse. But when I was younger, it was like, let it ride. You know?
Right, exactly. Well, and frankly, Warren Buffett says, investing should be the most boring thing you do. And that is my mantra. So if you're turning on the channel in the morning watching the circus barkers, change the channel and call me, will you?
Yeah, I definitely will, Richard. And so tomorrow we're going to come back and ask you our Friday question. Tune in tomorrow and hear our big Friday question of Richard.
If you're looking for more clarity, confidence, and comfort, either during or preparing for retirement, please feel free to reach out for a free retirement plan review.